Hi, I'm Luce. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am kicking off what is probably going to be a month-long vlog. So if anyone has watched my May TBR, then you will have seen that my bestie Caitlin has picked my books to read for May. So I thought it would be really fun if I did a vlog kind of talking about all the books as I'm reading them. I am starting this a little bit later than I kind of initially planned. I have already made a start on a couple of the books. But yeah, I just thought it would be like a fun vlog, and you know, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be updating Caitlin as I'm reading all the books, but kind of just like a fun little thing that, you know, she can watch and see like my in-depth thoughts and opinions as well. So excuse my headset, I am currently watching a League game on my other monitor. So I have my headset on and we're doing a vlog, it's casual, so like, you know, we're getting the full headset vibe. But yeah, I talked about all of the books that I'm going to be reading at my May TBR. If you haven't watched that, then go watch that and you'll hear me talk about all the books. But I've made a start on 3 of them. So I thought, yeah, let's just go through. So I'm gonna start off with the one that I've read by far the least of, which is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. I am only 29 pages into this one. I started reading it at the weekend, planned to read quite a bit, and then I got a really bad headache, so I don't really make any progress. But this one is a fairy loot book from, I think, February. And the way I described this in my May TBR is Bridgerton with Fae, which I am definitely getting that vibe. This follows our main character Ivy, who is the second daughter of her family, and her older sister had some kind of scandal which has kind of painted her whole family in a little bit of a negative light. So her prospects for marriage are looking a little bit ropey. But in this world, the queen is Fae. And when women kind of come of age and they're going to be on the quote-unquote marriage market looking for husbands, they can make a bargain with the queen. Normally it's for something kind of more simple, like, you know, I want to be a little bit taller, I want to have nicer hair, I want to have better skin, I want to be better at the piano. But our main girlie seems to have a slightly more of an in-depth idea of what she wants to do with her bargain, and I'm assuming it's going to be to do with her sister. Now, like I said, I'm only 29 pages in, but I am already really loving this book. I love the setting. I am such a Bridgerton fan. So honestly, anything that gives Bridgerton vibes, I'm gonna love. I also love Faye. And we have met who I think might be our male love interest already. And just based on the kind of banter and interactions we've had between the two of them, I think I'm gonna eat this romance up. So I do definitely want to make a lot more progress into this at the moment. It has honestly been kind of just living rent-free in my head already since I made a start on it. And then the other 2 books I'm reading I have made way more of a substantial dent into. So the first one is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I'm listening to the audiobook of this and I am 247 pages in. So I have just less than 100 pages left, about an hour and a half of the audiobook. And I'm really liking this one. This is one that I know Caitlin has read and really enjoyed, and I've been meaning to get around to it for a really long time. I just haven't, and I'm having so much fun. This follows our main girl Evie, who, as you may be able to guess from the title, is the assistant to the villain. The villain is this kind of like slightly mysterious character who, like, no one knows who he is. They just call him the villain. He does devious villainous things, but we're kind of learning through following Evie that he's not really as devious as like he seems to be. He actually seems to be quite a soft, sweet boy who is completely enamored by his assistant. And yeah, this is just, it's silly, it's goofy, it is not taking itself seriously at all, and I'm having so much fun. The sequel to this is already out, and I believe the 3rd book comes out in June or July, I want to say. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up when it comes out, and I'm so glad that Caitlin finally gave me the push to read this one. And then the last one that I've made a start on, I'm reading on my Kindle, so I don't know exactly where I'm up to because my Kindle is in the bedroom, but it is Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Belfleur. This is the 3rd book in a companion romance series. The first one is Written in the Stars, which I adored. I gave that one 5 stars. The second one, which I think is called Hang the Moon, yes, I really didn't love. I gave that one 2 stars. So I was not sure what to expect going into this one. but I'm loving it so much. I think I'm about 130 pages in right now. When I tell you this literally has me giggling, kicking my feet and screaming, I'm not exaggerating. This, in my May TBR when I was talking about this, I said they were two exes, which is kind of accurate, but not really. This follows our two main characters, Olivia and Margot, who used to be best friends when they were in high school. And they had this kind of week-long romantic fling, aka just like them having sex for a week. And because of some misunderstanding that happened as a result of that, they haven't talked to each other or been in contact for 11 years. They end up meeting again when Olivia is designated as the wedding planner for Margot's best friend's wedding. And also, because of some situation that happens with Olivia's apartment, they also end up as roommates. So they are living together, they are dealing with a lot of sexual tension, but also a lot of feelings that they kind of haven't really dealt with from 11 years ago. And I love it so much. I think Alexandria Belflour's sapphic romance is maybe just it for me. I think, because the second book in the series was a MF relationship, it was a straight one. And maybe I just need to read her sapphic romances because it's so good. The tension between the two of them I think is so good. I love how they're navigating this new dynamic between the two of them, and I will say the kind of situation that drove them apart is very, it made me roll my eyes a little bit when you kind of learn about it, but they were like 18 when it happened, so I'm like, you know, it's teenagers being dumb, and obviously they hadn't seen each other for 11 years, so they haven't had a chance to kind of work through it as adults, which is where they're getting to now. Also, I was reading this in my bed last night on my Kindle, and I got to the point where they kissed, and I was squealing. I cannot wait to read more of this, and I'm also really happy because I mentioned in a couple videos, I think, that I have been in a little bit of a slump with contemporary romances. I've been really struggling to pick them up, and when I do, I'm not very engaged, I'm not enjoying them very much. This might be the cure to my slump because I can't stop thinking about it. It is all I want to read. I'm so invested. I want to jinx it, but I think this could be a 5-star romance, which I haven't had in quite a while. And also the cover's so cute. I talked about this in my TBR video. I think the cover's adorable. It has a cute little cat in it, which Olivia has a cat and Margot is terrified of cats. So you get some kind of funny interactions with that. Something that's also really fun with this series is Margot runs a kind of astrological site business thing with her best friend Elle, who is one of the main characters in book 1. So in this book you get little, I'll see if I can find one, you get little kind of like lists that you would on like an astrology page that's like best movie to watch based on your star sign. This one is, yeah, what TV show would you watch with your roommate based on your zodiac sign? And I'm not someone who necessarily believes fully in zodiac signs and all that kind of stuff, but I do find it really interesting. And also, if something appears that's like this based on your zodiac sign, book to read based on your zodiac sign, favorite color based on your zodiac sign, I will always look at them. So I do think that's a really fun addition to this series in general. But yeah, these are my 3 current reads. Having a really good time with all of them. And yeah, I will come back to you when I've made some more progress on any of them. Hello, good morning, happy Sunday. I am once again in my kitchen making coffee. If you watched any of my vlogs, I think there is basically always a section when I am in my kitchen making coffee. But I am coming with I'd say a fairly decent reading update because I haven't updated this vlog since Tuesday, I think it was. And it's now Sunday. I finished 2 books in that time, so let's talk about them. So the first one that I finished was Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and I gave that one 4 stars. I finished it, I think, on Friday, and I really enjoyed it. I had such a good time with it. Like, this is objectively, you know, not one of the best books I've ever read, but I just had such a good time. Like, I thought that the characters were really fun. Like, I really liked both our MMC and our FMC. I thought they were just fucking adorable. I love that it's kind of slow burny. Like, I think we get like maybe 1 kiss in the whole of the first book, and that's kind of it. But there's like a lot of pining. It's just, I thought it was so cute. And then the ending of book 1 I also thought was like kind of crazy. So I am definitely gonna be picking up book 2 soon. Ideally I like to get book 2 read before book 3 comes out, which is sometime in the summer, I can't remember when. I will definitely be listening to the audiobook for book 2 as well, because I really enjoyed the audiobook experience for the first one. So yeah, that was book 1. And then last night I finished Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Belfleur, and I gave this 5 stars. And I truly think no one is more shocked than me that number 1, I am giving a romance 5 stars in 2025, but number 2, I'm giving this book 5 stars, because I think I said in another clip, I really didn't like book 2 in this series, and I think I've pinpointed why that was actually from reading the 3rd one. I think I know why I didn't like book 2 at all, and it's because the guy in it gave me the ick. And like seeing him again, because he like pops up in this one, because he's like, you know, best friends with one of our main characters. Seeing him pop up in this one, he just gives me the ick. Like, he's so obsessed with the idea of like finding your one true love and like happy ever after, and I just find it cringe. I just don't like it. So unfortunately, I think he was the reason why I didn't like book 2. But in this one, I loved both of our girlies so much. Both Olivia and Margot I thought was so fun to follow. I like that they have their own issues going on, but they're not like insurmountable issues. Like, they're kind of issues that they genuinely can work on together, and you know, being each other's partners I think can actually help the relationship, as opposed to sometimes in romances it feels like, you know, these 2 characters get together and all of their problems are solved. Their financial issues are going to be fine. Their mental health is going to be fine. There was none of that in this. It was just, hello, I'm a little bit insecure about, you know, people leaving me. I have a partner who loves me and is going to stay by me. Cool, that's going to help with that issue. That kind of thing. I loved it. I thought it was so cute and sweet and funny and spicy. I thought that the smut in this was like top tier. Like, I was fanning myself reading it. I loved it so much. So I'm definitely, I don't know honestly if I'm going to seek out more of Alexandria Belfleur's like straight romances, her MF romances, or I'm just going to stick to her sapphic ones, because I know there's 2 other sapphic ones that I can read from her. So I might just stick to that, because I think the dudes in her books kind of give me the ick. It also wouldn't be a vlog of mine without my cats interrupting me. But yeah, like I said, it's Sunday. I had kind of planned on doing a lot more reading over the weekend, but yesterday my mum came over and helped us clear out our garden, which, oh my god, was such a task. It's really satisfying. Like, I will show you actually what it is looking like, because it is looking so much better now. But oh my god, I was so tired. So the only reading I did was like, I read like 50 pages and finished off Count Your Lucky Stars in bed last night. So today I have no plans. So what I would like to be reading is the Rose Bargain. I started this last weekend. I got 29 pages in and then I didn't continue. So I want to make more of a dent into this, because I was really enjoying what I was reading from this one. I got my audiobook hold from my library for the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So I might end up starting the audiobook for that tonight while I'm like cooking dinner and that kind of stuff. Yeah, those are my reading plans for today. Also, I did get my hair done. I don't know if you can tell as well in this light, but I have got the colour refreshed. It's definitely looking a bit weird because I was in the garden all day and I haven't done anything to it this morning. So my bangs are like a little bit weird. Yeah, so my plan is make some coffee, sit down on my sofa, read the Rose Bargain. I think my cat just kind of wants some attention, so I'm going to provide that and do some reading. Okay, we're in the exact same place, but it is like 2 hours later. It is like 1:30. I have come into the kitchen to make some lunch, but I have been reading the Rose Bargain this morning. I am 100 pages in now and I love it so much, like so much. I'm gonna be just wandering around because I'm gonna make my lunch, but I think I mentioned either in the first clip of this vlog or in my TBR video, but this book gives me kind of Bridgerton vibes because it's set in like historical England, and we are following like a girl who is coming into society trying to find a husband, and it is giving such Bridgerton vibes, like the talk about like the clothes and the balls and all that kind of stuff. I love it. I'm so into it. I love the Fae stuff. I'm so obsessed. Like truly, I love it so much. And I know from, I think it was when Emmy was reading it, she said like the ending was pretty wild. So I'm so excited, and I'm also flying through it. It's a very easy read. So I think my goal for today is to get to like page 200. I will be over the 50% mark then, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also definitely going to be starting Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires today. So yeah, hopefully I will have some more reading updates for you later in the day. Okay, hello, I am here with a reading update. So since I last spoke to you, which I think was on Sunday, it is now Tuesday, I have made a start on 2 new books, and I've also made some good progress into the Rose Bargain. So I think I said that I wanted to get to page 200 on Sunday. I didn't quite get there, I got to page 180. I'm still loving this book. I'm having such a good time with it. I don't think it's going to be 5 stars, but I think this is probably going to be a 4.5 when I'm done. And like I said, I started 2 other books from my TBR. So I started the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires on audio. I listened to a little bit more this morning. I think I'm about 100-ish pages in, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. I really like the audiobook because our narrator is doing like a southern accent, and I think it makes it so much more atmospheric. This one, I also just really like the characters. I like that we are following these housewives. I like their relationships together. I love their little book club, and I'm really intrigued how it's gonna go. Like, I don't really know the direction this is gonna go in, but I'm really hooked in it. And then finally, I started Best Hex Ever, and this one I'm reading on my Kindle. I'm on, I think, about page 150, so I'm like 50% through. I am enjoying this one. It's not anything fantastic. Like, it's definitely way too insta-lovey for my personal tastes, but it is still really fun. Like, I'm reading it really quickly. I should have this done in the next kind of couple days, and I think if I was going to predict right now, this would be like a 3.5. But yeah, still having a really good time. I really like the writing of this, I will say. So I think the only thing genuinely that's kind of bringing it down a little bit is just how horny they are for each other. Like, it's a little bit much, but I like the way it's written. I really like the kind of witchy elements in it. I love the characters, and I believe from what I saw that there is going to be a kind of spin-off with one of our main characters' best friends, which I think is coming out in September. So I will probably be picking that one up because I really like her character. I think she's really interesting. Honestly, like, so far so good with this TBR. Like, everything that I'm reading, I'm really enjoying, and I'm so happy that Caitlin is kind of not pushing me out of my comfort zone necessarily, but kind of pushing me to pick up books that I probably wouldn't necessarily pick up without any kind of prompting. But yeah, that's the little update for today. I will check back in with you probably when I have finished Best Hex Ever, I think. Okay, hello. I am finally back with an update. It has been quite a while since I did my last update, which I'm very sorry about. I've been very busy. It's currently Tuesday. I have been busy over the weekend. I had a wedding. So yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on. Ooh, there's a weird lighting thing. But I have been doing a little bit of reading. So I think the last time I updated, I had just finished Assistant to the Villain and Count Your Lucky Stars. So since then, I have finished one more book from my TBR, which was Best Hex Ever by Nadia El Farsi. Now, I gave this one 3 stars. I did enjoy this book. I thought it was really cute. It was really fun. I enjoyed the writing style of it, but my main issue was that it was just way too insta-love. Like, these characters basically had like the love at first sight, and then it was just so horny. Like, they were constantly horny and lusting after each other, which I don't mind, but when you've only known each other for like a couple days and you're already like picturing a life together and you can't stop thinking about fucking each other, like, it was just a little bit much. And then I have been reading more of the Rose Bargain. I am, how many pages? 257 pages into this. I want to finish it tonight. I don't know if I will. If not, it will definitely be tomorrow. But I'm loving this book still. It is so whimsical and fun, and I'm just loving it. This is the kind of YA fantasy that I really love, and it's the kind of book that I don't want to put down when I'm reading it. So yeah, we'll definitely be finishing this either tonight or tomorrow. And then I can't remember at all if I updated that I've started Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, but I have started it. I am 169 pages in. Love this book so much. The atmosphere is phenomenal. I love the characters. I am really intrigued where the plot is going in this one. I don't really want to say anything about this because I feel like horror is best when you go into it kind of not really knowing much, but I am enjoying this. I think I have about 2.5 hours of the audiobook left, so I would like to get this finished in the next couple of days. If I listen to like an hour a day, that's easily going to be done. And I did start trying to read the Trinity Prophecy the other night, and I'm gonna give it another go. I didn't get very far into it, but I think that one could be a DNF, which I feel really bad about, but it just doesn't, like, it's not a bad book. From the very small amount that I read, it just didn't feel like it was going to be my kind of fantasy. But like I said, I'm willing to give it another go. I'm going to try again, but yeah, that one might end up being a DNF, which I feel really guilty about. Okay, but while I have you here, I also just want to do a quick little haul because I have been hauling some things over the past week or so that I'm very excited about. So the first one is the Fairy Loot edition of the Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Swordcatcher series. I'm not really sure what the actual series name is called, but this beautiful cover with character art, really, it's not upside down. It is really pretty sprayed edges. This foiled naked hardcover, and then end paper art, which is different on both sides. I have been actually really eager to start reading The Ragpicker King because I reread Swordcatcher last month, I think it was, and I enjoyed it a lot more on reread. So I am quite keen to pick this one up, hopefully soon. And then this is the last book thing. I have two non-bookish things, but I still want to show them off. But I have, oh, here we are. These are the Dusty Shop, I think, Akatar dust jackets. So I will quickly show you them, but they are absolutely stunning. So this is A Court of Thorns and Roses. We have A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, which, fun fact, I've actually never read this novella. And then probably my favourite book in the series, A Court of Silver Flames. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I pre-ordered the Throne of Glass dust jackets that they did as well. And I have the wrong paperback set. It's for the US paperbacks, not the UK paperbacks. So I think I'm gonna have to buy a box set of the US paperbacks of Throne of Glass. I found one for like £60, which is not too bad, but I was so annoyed because I have the dust jackets. They are sitting next to my desk. They're gorgeous, but I don't have the right books to put on them. I'm really mad. Okay, then non-bookish things. I am so excited about this. So first off, I have my pre-order for the new Sleep Token vinyl. This is the Even in Arcadia album. I absolutely love Sleep Token. They are one of my favorite bands, and their vinyls never disappoint, so I'm really happy I have this. The store that I ordered it from, I think is called Revolver, which I've ordered vinyls from there before. I have all my Ghost vinyls from there, but they come up with these little like magazine things about the band. So it just has like a load of photos and then stuff about the band. I think it also has like interviews with them maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I love Sleep Token. They're one of my favorite bands. I love the new album, so happy to have this in my collection. And then the last thing I got, I'm so excited to have this. I bought a Labubu. I think they are so cute, and I am somebody who likes to have really big obnoxious keys. And actually over here, so I used to have this on my keys. This is a little bunny that my brother bought me for Christmas, I think like 5 years ago, and he's been on my keys, but I wanted something new and I thought a Labubu would be perfect. So you have to bear with me with all my keys, but here's my Labubu. I have so these ones are the, what is it, Big Into Energy, I think is the specific type of one, and I have Luck. So yeah, here she is. She's absolutely gorgeous. I have, you know, all of my keys attached to the back, but yeah, that's my little haul and my reading update. I will get back to you when I have finished the Rose Bargain, I think. Girl, come say hi, Squeaky. Oh my god, as soon as I sit down to record, as soon as I start like speaking, my cats are like, hello, hello. They're so intrigued by what's going on. Hello. Hello. She's purring so loudly. I don't think you can hear it, but it's so cute. Okay, so hello, it is Wednesday, and I did, in fact, last night finish The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith, and I gave this 5 stars. I loved this so much, so much. Like, this is the kind of book that if book 2 was out, I would be sprinting to pick it up immediately. I was like on the edge of my seat reading the end of this book. I was so hooked. I was so intrigued. Oh, my cat is now on my lap. I loved the characters. I love how the like female friendships developed in here. Like, mainly throughout like I would say the last half of the book, they had such a lovely, beautiful bond. Absolutely loved the way that Fae were in this book, because I think I mentioned when I was talking about this maybe in my TBR, that the Fae in this book are not like, they're not like your ACOTAR Fae, which don't get me wrong, I like those, but they're not like the 6-foot winged big buff boys. They're more like Cruel Prince Fae. Like, they are tricksters, they are kind of devious, they're a little bit mean, they're quite cruel, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing, and I will be absolutely sprinting to pick up the sequel as soon as it's out, because the way that this left, I was not okay. It is gonna take me, I would say, 2 to 3 business days to recover from the ending of this book. That now leaves me with what to read next. So I tried again to read the Trinity Prophecy. I don't have it with me, and I would go pick it up, but my cat is fully settled on my lap now. I did try to read that again last night, and I do think that I am going to DNF it. It just, again, it's not bad at all. It's just not for me. It's really not my kind of fantasy. So I do think I'm going to be DNFing that one. So that leaves me with 2 books, if I'm counting correctly, left on my TBR, which is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant and The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean, I think it is. I have the audiobook downloaded for Into the Drowning Deep. I did also want to say I am reading on my Kindle as well another book, which is not on my Caitlin TBR, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it briefly, which is The Bride of Brutal Hearts by, I think Kate Stevens is the author, which is an ARC copy that I have. It, I think, comes out like when I'm filming this like tomorrow, so I should have finished it, but it's a really long book and I've been busy. But I'm, I think, about 150 pages into that one right now, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It is an MMF dark vampire romance, and I'm having such a good time with it. It's one that I would be dedicating more time to if I wasn't trying to finish this TBR. So I think once I finish my Caitlin TBR, that's kind of what I'm going to be dedicating most of my time to. I do also have a kind of plan in the works for another bestie picks my TBR for, I think, July. I love when my besties pick my books because it forces me to read books that I wouldn't normally be picking up. And with the exception of the Trinity Prophecy, I've been loving everything I'm reading so far this month. Like, this has been such a fun reading month. A little bit of the workday left to do. I have just finished editing my YouTube video that is going up tonight. And yeah, I think I'm going to finish off the bits of actual work that I have to do. And then I think I'm just gonna play League. I have been in such a gaming mood, but specifically a League of Legends mood right now, which I was thinking about this earlier. I'm not in a reading slump. I'm still in the mood to read and I'm still enjoying actually reading, but I'm just not reading as much and as quickly as I normally would. This month, which kind of makes sense. I think it normally happens that around the middle of the year, I read a lot normally at the beginning and the ends of the year, and then in the middle I get a little bit burnt out, which I think is where we are right now. But it's not like a proper slump. I, touch wood, haven't had an actual reading slump in probably like 3 years, maybe 4 years. So again, I'm touching my bookshelf, touching wood really aggressively. I'm hoping that I don't get one this year, because despite the fact that I'm not reading as much right now, I am just so excited about reading at the moment. There is so much, like, looking at my shelves, there is so much that I am like dying to read. Yeah, I will get back to you when I have made some progress on any of my other books. Say goodbye, Yumi. Okay, hello, happy Thursday. I am not here with a reading update. I mean, I do have a very little reading update, but that's kind of not the main reason that I'm here. The reason I'm here, I got my adult and romantasy fairy loot combo box in the post just now, and I thought I would do just a quick little unboxing for them, because I get very excited about my fairy loot books, so I thought that some of you might enjoy seeing them as well. I'm also, as we speak, in the online queue for their new Caraval set. I have no idea if I'm gonna get them, because even though I joined the queue very quickly, it still takes like 2 hours, so we'll see. But I love Caraval, so I'm got my fingers crossed that I get it. But like I said, I have the combo romantasy and adult, so I have both of them here. I do spoil myself every month for what the Fairy Loot and Unlimited Crate books are going to be, but I honestly, unless it's one that I'm really excited about, I never remember exactly what they are. So we're going in kind of blind. But first off, this is the adult one. The theme is prophecies. Oh yeah, no, I'm a dumbass. It's the new Rachel Gillig book. It's The Knight and the Moth. This is gorgeous. Also, I am obsessed with the colour scheme on this. Yeah, this is The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. She's the author of One Dark Window, which I haven't read. I have both of the books in that duology, but I haven't got to it yet. This has beautiful, absolutely gorgeous sprayed edges. But this is the naked hardback with the beautiful foiling on the front and the back. I love the art for the end papers. I think that this art style is absolutely stunning, and they are of course different on the back. Then we just have a very slight color variation of the original cover for the reverse dust jacket. So this is more like pinky purple, whereas I think the original cover is more blue, I want to say. But this is one that even though I haven't read One Dark Window, I need to because I know I'm gonna love it. I'm still so excited about this one. I just have a really good feeling about Rachel Gillig as an author. I have basically heard nothing but glowing reviews of her books, and I saw that Emmy read an ARC copy of this very recently and loved it. I've mentioned Emmy quite a lot, but like, if Emmy likes books, I'm more excited to read them. But yeah, I'm so excited about this one. And then that leaves us with the romantasy, which, can I find the little spoiler card? The theme is Whispers of Ruin. Again, I'm pretty sure this is one that there was actually a leak for what the design was going to be. So I've definitely seen this, but I can't remember what the book is. Oh, yes, no, I have seen this one. This is Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. This is not a book that I have heard anything about. Like, I've not heard this apart from being spoiled for the Fairy Loot, but I do like the cover. It's got this kind of like, these like skull birds and like little wolves or foxes down the bottom. The edge is beautiful with this wolf and the flowers. Like, we've got two purple books as well, because purple's not my favorite color just in general, but I like it for book covers. The naked hardback it's pretty. It's not one of my favorites, but I do think it's a nice one. We have the end papers, which are of course going to be different on both sides. I like this art style a lot. And then we have again, color change on the original cover. This one I think is blue. The original cover I think is blue, whereas this one is, like I said, purple. And this one I literally know nothing about. Not a single thing. The Knight and the Moth, I realize I haven't given you any kind of synopsis. I will go back to it in a second, but this one I literally don't know anything about. So what does it say? Together they'll restore a broken kingdom or burn it to the ground. Yeah, sure, very basic. I'm not gonna lie to you, the actual synopsis is long as hell, so I don't really want to read all of that. It seems very stereotypical romantasy, but I've said this before in videos, if a very typical trope is done well, I'm going to enjoy it still. So I'm still excited to see what this one is like and see what I think about it. Oh, it's also got these just floral tops and bottoms, which are so pretty. Yes, The Knight and the Moth, I believe, is about a girl who is in I think she's some kind of priest or something like that. And she can predict terrible things from things she sees in her dreams. And then a knight appears at the cathedral that she works at. And I think she ends up working with this knight to find fellow kind of priestesses in her cathedral that are going missing. That's all. I don't want to know too much about this one, if I'm being honest. I want to go into this one just pretty blind. But yeah, two absolutely beautiful editions. I know that the first book for the epic fantasy that Fairy Loot has done has shipped, so that one I think is probably going to be in this vlog as well. I do know what the book is for that. I think that's kind of been like, that's been like an open secret, I think, since the box was announced, and I am excited about that book. I don't know if my Illumicrate or my YA Fairy Loot will come while I'm still filming this vlog. We'll see. If they are, they will be in this vlog. Okay, and then while I'm here, I may as well give you a little reading update. So I did start The Phoenix Keeper last night. I listened to the audiobook while I was cooking dinner. I didn't get very far in. I am only on page 33, and this book so far is fine. It's perfectly fine. This is one that, while I'm not, like, I don't hate it at all. Like, the writing's pretty decent, the characters are fine, the setting is fine. I just don't know if this is going to be for me, purely because it's cozy. And the plot doesn't really feel like there's going to be much of a plot. Yeah, I'm gonna get to at least the page 100 mark and then see what I think about it from there. This might end up being a DNF, I don't know. But again, if this is a DNF, like with the Trinity Prophecy, it's not gonna be a DNF because there was anything wrong with it, because it was a bad book. I think that this simply will just not necessarily be for me. Also, I just wanted to give an update, this isn't a TBR book, this isn't one of the books that I got picked by Caitlin, but I think I mentioned in the last clip that I'm reading an ARC copy, which is Bride of Brutal Hearts by Kate Stevens, which I think comes out today. So when you're watching this video, the book is out, but I read 100 pages of that yesterday, and oh, I love it. I love it. The smut in that book is smutting. It is really good. And it's a funny one because I was looking at my percentage and I was like, oh, the smut starts at like 25%. So in my head, I was like, oh, that's quite soon. It's an 800 and something page book. So I was like over 200 pages in when the smut started. So it's not quite as quick as I thought it was, but yeah, I'm just really enjoying that. I think one of the things I'm enjoying a lot about it as well is the chronic illness representation. I'm pretty sure, I think I saw in like the author's note at the end that the main character, what the kind of like in the modern day, what she would be diagnosed with was endometriosis. And I just really enjoy when there is mental health or chronic illness representation in books, especially in, you know, fantasy and romantasy books. I think that's really important. So I do like that. I just also really like her as a character. The vampire princes are very intriguing to me. I like them a lot. We have the very stereotypical dynamic of, you know, stoic, kind of serious, intimidating one, and then silly, goofy, jokey boy, but who's also like, they're both murderers. They're both these dark, they're not even really morally grey, I wouldn't say. Like, they are just kind of like dark, mysterious vampires. But yeah, we have one who is like jokey and silly, goofy and flirty and pouts a lot. So I'm really enjoying the dynamics of that. So like I said, I think I'm 30-ish% of the way through now. So I can't give you a full recommendation, but I will say if you're watching this video and you like the idea of an MMF, you know, fantasy romance, vampires, morally grey main characters, then do go check out Bride of Brutal Hearts because I am loving it so far. I think my focus for the rest of the kind of working week is going to be finishing Southern Book Club because I'm really, really into that one. But I think I need a physical book to pick up as well. And again, this is just turning into month-long reading vlog of reading, just in general, not specifically only the Caitlin books, because I think what I want to pick up is it Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields, I think is the book, because Fairy Loot just announced that they are doing a matching edition for the sequel. It was one of the romantasy picks from last year, and I love the covers of the Fairy Loot editions. So I think that I want to read that. And then if I like it, then I know that I should buy the sequel. If I don't like it, then I don't have to spend money on a sequel. So I think that's what I'm going to pick up. I probably won't talk about that as much as my Caitlin TBR, because that's, again, we've deviated, but that wasn't the purpose of this video. Was just to read the books that she has picked for me. But yeah, I am gonna go. I need to get back to work, okay? And I also need to find a home for these beautiful, beautiful new books on my bookshelf. So yeah, I'll come back to you at some point with an update, maybe when I finish Southern Book Club, maybe when I've picked up something new, maybe when I've made some more progress into this. We'll see. I know I said I was gonna end this clip, but I feel like yapping today. I'm in that kind of mood. I don't want to DNF this because I feel bad if I've DNF'd 2 books that Caitlin read for me, but I guess on the other hand, these aren't books that she's read. So it's not like I'm DNFing her faves. But this is one that genuinely, when I think about reading it, I'm just so about it. Like, I just don't have a drive to pick it up. And I know I said I wanted to get to page 100 before I potentially DNF'd it, but it might be a little bit earlier than that. Chapter 4 is page 50. And for me, page 50, I'm fine DNFing a book at page 50 if I'm not enjoying it. So what I might do is I might listen to one more chapter of this. If I'm still really not vibing, then I don't want to DNF this one. If I enjoy that chapter, then I will keep going to at least page 100 to make another judgment. But yeah, I think that's what we're going with, because again, I'm not slumping. I'm putting that out into the universe. I'm manifesting it. I am not slumping. I'm not having a book slump, but I'm just not as motivated to read as I have been in the previous months. If I'm reading a book that I'm just dragging my feet reading at the moment, that feels counterproductive. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I have a plan. I'm going to listen to another chapter of this, make a judgment, try and power my way through Southern Book Club because I am enjoying that one. And then I think I'm gonna pick up Nectar of the Wild, because that's a book that I've been excited to read since it came in the Fairy Loot box. So I feel like that's a good one to go with. Yeah. Okay, we have a plan. Feeling better, we have a plan.
Okay, hello. It is Monday and I'm coming with another car update because I was just about to leave the house. I am going to my dad's, but I realized I haven't given an update again in ages. So I thought I'd come in now. So I think the last time that I did an update, I was saying that I was contemplating DNFing the Phoenix Keeper, and I have decided to DNF it. This is a book that I truly do not think is a bad book in any capacity. It just really is not for me. Like, I was just not engaged at all in it. And this was already a book, to be fair, that I was not super sure about anyway. So I don't feel like bad about DNFing that one. So I have started, this isn't again Caitlin related, but I did start reading a new book on my Kindle, which is Captivated by Only James. This is the second book in I think it's the Elite Protection series. This is like a series of bodyguard romances, and I read the first one and really, really loved it. I've started reading that one, and then I also did start Nectar of the Wicked. I am 47 pages into that one and really enjoying that one so far. But in terms of my Caitlin TBR, I am nearly done with Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I have, I think, half an hour left of the audiobook, which I was contemplating listening to on the drive down to my dad's. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to either listen to it on the way back or when I'm home. But oh my god, I love this book. I am so obsessed with it. I love it so much. And like the last probably like 2 hours of the audiobook have been absolutely crazy. Like, so much has gone on, and like I have found myself so attached to these characters, which I really didn't think I would. I think with horror books generally, from what I've read, I don't have as much of a strong attachment to the characters, but these housewives, I love them. I would kill for them. I love them so dearly. So yeah, I have half an hour left, so that one is definitely going to be done today. And then the only book I have left from my TBR is Into the Drowning Deep, which I will be starting tomorrow. I think I've mentioned, I have the audiobook downloaded. I think it's about 4.5 hours on my listening speed, so easily doable before the end of the month. I just need to, actually commit to listening to my audiobook hours. But yeah, I'm gonna go to my dad's. It is Bank Holiday Monday again in the UK here, so I have another day off work. So yeah, I'm gonna go to my dad's. Some of my cousins are visiting, so I'm gonna go see them. Then I'm gonna come home and finish Southern Book Club. And I cannot wait. I truly cannot wait.
Okay, hello, it is now Tuesday. I think the last clip that I did was in my car yesterday before I went to go visit some family. I have now finished the book that I think I was talking about, which is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Also, I feel like shit today. I feel really not great today. So if this seems a little bit low energy, then that is why. I'm very sorry. But yes, I did finish the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires yesterday on my drive home, and I gave this 4.25 stars. I do think that it was quite slow in the beginning. I was still interested, but it was definitely slower. But the pace at the end was crazy. Like I was driving in my car, literally like gasping out loud. Like the end of this book was so crazy. I loved this. I can't recommend this enough. I think that this is a fantastic horror book. I also think it was a really interesting take on vampires, one that I haven't really seen before. I'm now really intrigued to read more Grady Hendrix. His new book, which is, I think it's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, I think is what it's called. That one I'm really intrigued about, and because of how much I loved this, I think I'm going to like that one as well. One of the main things I think that made this such a good book for me was the the women kind of friend group, this group of Southern housewives. I think that their dynamic was so great to watch, and watching it kind of develop as the book went on, I loved so much. And the audiobook was phenomenal. Like, would highly recommend the audiobook if you are interested in reading this. The way that the narrator does the accents and everything, I think added so much to it. But yeah, 4.25, absolutely loved. It means I only have one book left, which is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I don't have my phone on me, but I think it is about 4.5 hours. There's a massive plane going past right now. I think it's about 4.5 hours on my audiobook speed, and we are on the 27th of May when I'm filming this clip. So we're gonna be kind of, not rushing, but like, you know, we're gonna be pushing to get this book done by the end of the month. Determined that I'm going to do that. I am really excited to read this one. I know that a lot of people really love this book. And I think I mentioned before that Mira Grant is the pen name for Shauna Maguire. I've read quite a few Shauna Maguire books. I've read Middle Game, and I've read quite a lot of books in the Wayward Children series, and I loved all of those. So I do have quite high expectations for this one. But yeah, that's my actual reading update. But I do have a little book haul to bring you. My Illuma Crate box came, and I will be honest, it arrived at a time where I did not want to be perceived. I was feeling really meh, so I didn't do a little unboxing, but I will show you the book because I think it is stunning. So this is the book. It is A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ayindi. This is a book that I have never heard of, but I think this copy is so beautiful. It's got this like black foiling on the hardback, which I love. But it was the end papers that I think really sold me on wanting to read this book immediately, because I think they are so beautiful. I am dying to read this because the artwork on this cover is just so amazing. And then when I was out yesterday, my cousins, my lovely cousins, they took me to Waterstones and they bought me a couple of books. So I do have a little Waterstones haul as well. Because originally they were like, oh, we'll get you a book. And I was like, cool, there's a couple that I want, so you can buy me one and then I'll buy the rest. And they ended up buying me all 4 of them. So thank you very much, cousins, but I feel kind of bad. But the books that I got, the first one I have is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. My cat is now here as well. Hello. This one I have heard just fantastic things about, really. All I know about this one is that it is a fantasy romance. I believe it is set in a circus. And that kind of had me sold. I also think that the cover is beautiful. I love the gold foiling. And it's also, for a UK paperback, like kind of, it's not floppy, but it's not as stiff as some of the other ones. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. Next I have one that I bought entirely because of Bestie Ruth. And that is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This is, I believe she read it this year, and I think it's like one of her new all-time favorite books. She has been shouting at me to read it, and when I saw it, I couldn't leave it there. I simply couldn't. This is a super short one as well, but this one I believe is about a group of women who are stuck in some kind of like underground bunker, I think. They end up escaping and experiencing the world. I don't know anything beyond that, but Ruth likes it. That's why I picked it up. Then I have one that I was really surprised to see in Waterstones, and that is Phantom by H.D. Carlton. This, as far as I'm aware, is an indie published book, and I know you can order indie books online on Waterstones, but I've never really seen them in person. But yeah, I love H.D. Carlton. I couldn't resist. This is, I believe, her most recent book that's come out. It's kind of like a bit of a prequel to Haunting Adeline. It follows Addie's grandma Gigi, and in Haunting, and I think Hunting as well, we see her journal entries, and this is her actual story. I know that this is a stalker romance. This I also put on Caitlin's TBR to read in May. So, and she did enjoy it. So I had to pick it up. And then the last one is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that is Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. I love this cover. Every time I talk about this book, I talk about how much I love the cover. I also spoke about this in my Kindle TBR video that I posted recently, but I want to take the hardcover because I think I'm gonna love this book. This is a horror book, and I know that it follows our main character, who I think is she a crime scene cleaner? So that's like her job, but also her sister was murdered, and it seems to be racially motivated. It seems like this is a bit of a pattern and similar murders are happening, and I guess she's gonna try and solve them. I'm not really sure. I'm just really excited to read this one, and I'm really happy that I have the beautiful hardcover. Yeah, that is my little book haul. I am going to go back to work now because I have just finished my lunch break, and I will come back to you when I have made a start on Into the Drowning Deep. Okay, hello, it is later in the day. I am filming from my boyfriend's little work from home room because the lighting in my office is absolutely abysmal. Yeah, I thought I'd just come in here where I have some natural light. I have made a start on Into the Drowning Deep. I am... Hello, cat. Hi. I am 104 pages in right now, so about 20%, and I'm loving this so much. The way that the atmosphere is being built in this I think is phenomenal. Like, the first 100 pages I would say is all just set up. In this book we are following a group of characters who are in some way related to this tragedy that happened, I think like, it's 7 years ago. So this film crew set off to the Mariana Trench to film this mockumentary about deep sea creatures there, and it turns out that there's actually some really scary stuff down there. There is killer mermaids, and there was footage that got released to the public of what happened on that ship and the mermaids. And so the production company that was in charge of this have now 7 years later decided to send another crew of people down to kind of find out what really happened, but also to kind of clear their name a little bit, following a couple of characters who are part of this expedition. So where I'm at right now, they have all just got to this boat. They're all about to embark on this expedition. It was so intriguing. I am so invested in this already. And yeah, I cannot wait to listen to more of this. I have a feeling this, it might be bold to say this could be a 5-star, but I genuinely think this could be a 5-star. Okay, hello. I am finally here to wrap up this vlog because it is now June. And I haven't wrapped my vlog up yet. I have finished all of the books. I did finish them all before the end of May. So like I completely succeeded in my TBR. I just have been slacking on updating. So yeah, I have of course finished it now, and I did give this book 5 stars. I loved this so much. I really, really love the mix between all the sciencey stuff and like the research into these killer mermaids, and also the horror aspect of it, which I genuinely found really unsettling and really unnerving. I was looking at reviews and I saw a lot of people say they didn't like the characters. I really liked the characters. They weren't my favorite characters ever. I mean, I don't think any horror characters ever are, but like I liked them and I found them compelling and interesting. So yeah, I gave this 5 stars. I am really interested now to read Shauna Maguire / Mira Grant's other horror books, because I've loved her fantasy and I now have decided I love her horror. So I'm definitely going to be kind of exploring more of that. But yeah, this This vlog has been so incredibly successful, and I am going to go through and give you just a recap on my ratings of all the books that I read in a second, but I did very quickly, because I can't not, I wanted to show you 2 other books that I got in the mail recently. They are the other 2 Fairy Loot books that I hadn't received yet. So I have my YA, which is The Floating World by Axio. This cover is stunning, absolutely gorgeous. My camera battery died and I cannot be bothered to wait for it to charge, so we are just gonna finish off this vlog on my phone, so that's why the angle and the quality looks different. But yeah, the YA Fairy Loot was The Floating World by Axio. The end papers give me Ghibli vibes, which I love. And this isn't one that I'm like dying to read or anything, but like I do think the edition's really cute, and like I am feeling a little bit more in the mood to read YA fantasy at the moment, so this could be like a cute quick one for the summer because it's quite short. But the one that I was so excited about was the first Fairy Loot epic book. I was saying to Caitlin that like I am really excited to see what they do with it, but I was kind of not nervous, but I was just like unsure what was going to happen, because in my mind Fairy Loot is very girly pop. Like a lot of their books are very like romance themed, they're very like they're girly pop, right? And this is man fantasy. Like this is manly, you know, epic fantasy. So I was like, what are they going to do with it? This might be one of my favorite editions of a book I've ever owned. So it's The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This, oh my god, it's insane. Like the edges are stunning, the back, I even love the spine. The naked hardback I think is really cool as well. Like I like the kind of subtle red foiling on it. Oh god, I almost dropped it. I love the subtle red foiling. The end paper art I also think is beautiful. Like this is a book that I'm excited to read in so much as the premise sounds cool, and I do like not often, but like I do every so often like a manly fantasy. But Joe Abercrombie is a bit of a weird author for me because I read the first Law trilogy and I liked it. I loved the first book, and then the second 2 were just not my favorite. I read the first standalone in the first Law universe and despised that so deeply that I dropped the first Law series. I might go back to it at some point, but I'm just not interested at this point. But this one I'm intrigued about. I know that Becca from Becca and the Books read this recently, and she said it does give very much first Law, which to me is not necessarily a bad thing because, like I said, I liked the original trilogy enough. Like I liked the style of the writing, I was still engaged in it, and the premise of this one sounds more interesting, so I'm very excited. This is also, because it's so pretty, I do have this faced out on my bookshelf right now. Have no idea if I'm even gonna like it, but it's so pretty. But yeah, that's my tiny little book haul. So yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of this vlog now. I feel like this has been a really weird vlog. I feel like I have not been as good at vlogging as I probably should have. I blame it on the fact that it took a month. But I will give you a quick little recap of everything that I've read before we fully finish. Okay, so we had first the 2 books that I sadly DNF'd, which was The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean and The Trinity Prophecy by Marissa Kinzel. Then we had Assistant to the Villain, which I gave a 4-star. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which I gave a 4-star. Best Hex Ever, which I gave a 3.5-ish. And then Into the Drowning Deep, which I gave 5 stars. And Your Lucky Stars, which I gave 5 stars. And The Rose Bargain, which I also gave 5 stars. So like I said, I would say this was a super successful reading month for me because I had 3 5 stars from this vlog project, which is crazy. Couple of 4s. My 3 I still really enjoyed as well. Like I would definitely read more from that author. And while it may seem negative to have DNFs, to me it's still positive because it's books that I'm clearing off of my shelves, which is definitely something that I need to prioritize doing because I mean you can kind of see from here, like my shelves are a little bit crazy. They need to be culled a little bit. So yeah, I am so happy with how this vlog has turned out. I think Caitlin did an absolutely amazing job of picking books for me. She knows my taste so well. Yeah, if you watched this whole video, thank you so much. I love you. I feel like this was a really chaotic, weird vlog, but I had so much fun with my reading. If you have made it here, I hope you did enjoy the vlog. If you did, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you in a new video again soon. Bye!